hi, Mar. And I was like, oh, hi. And he was like, yeah, you, Lacey. And he was like, the videographer, Micah. And I was like, that's right.
Oh,
you already know.
Bonus point.
Wow. I know. He loves our videos. He's like, I've seen every single one.
Cool.
Well, let's go meet him.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, I want to bring your attention to something. We really appreciate you guys watching, but 96% of you, 96% are watching these videos regularly and you're not hitting the subscribe button. So please go do that now. When you do that, it helps us grow our community. It helps us get the word out, educate others, and in turn, just help others, okay? So hit the subscribe button and continue watching.
Monday Fun Day, is that what they say?
Austin, Texas, AGC. I feel like this is like a surprise situation.
Surprise!
Hi!
We're cutting you
Usually
today.
I give people the heads up we're coming in, but today, let's just do it a little different. Okay, and why did you want to do the video? Because he offered to do the video.
Yeah.
Is my hair?
I think your mic fell.
What? This is a new mic.
I know, well, you've already pulled it up.
Oh my god. Are you rolling this? This should be like outtakes of like, this is the reality of...
Perfect.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay, so you offered to do the video. Why'd you offer?
I just really enjoyed watching all the other ones and just for informational.
Did you watch the surgery part of it?
Every one of them. Yes.
Wow.
Just about, I think, back, I don't know what, 8, 9 years ago, I think.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
You've been watching for a while.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
I think 13 years, I think, is when I first started looking at the surgeries.
Wow. All right, well, let's take a look at you. So you're obviously in good shape, and I did cheat and read your backstory a little bit. So you've been dealing with this since you were a teenager?
Yeah, I think it started with puberty.
Puberty. Okay. And you're in great shape. And so this does not match, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay. And you've known him a long time, right?
Yeah.
Has this always bothered him?
Yeah.
Was he always vocal about it?
Yes.
Well, good. Some guys aren't. They just don't tell anybody. And then they come here and they hire someone to take care of them because they don't want to tell anybody. So I'm glad you have somebody. So that's great. Is it painful?
It has been tender.
Yeah.
Not like excruciating pain.
Yeah.
It, like shirts and things, if you hit it.
Yeah. Yeah. You saying you have kids made me think of, I had this patient one time, and he said that the reason he actually came in and followed through with this was because he had 2 kids, and they would sit on his lap on either side, and they would read stories at night, and they would brush up against his chest, and it would hurt.
Yeah, I've had
know?
that too. Like, one of the daughters, you give her a hug or something, if her head bounces off,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
tender.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's common, the tender thing. As soon as this gland is removed, you're not going to be dealing with any of that. So it's a lot to look forward to. And you're probably going to have a hard time staying out of the gym, I assume.
We can make it.
5 days a week, right? That's pretty. 7. There's the truth.
Yeah.
I got one of those at home. He works out twice a day sometimes.
Well, it's in the basement, so I don't have to leave it.
Yeah, same thing. Ours is in the garage. Apparently, that's a good place for it. So, and you guys have basements. We don't have basements in Texas. Yeah, I
A
know.
lot cooler.
I know. It'd be a lot cooler if we did. Why don't we?
I don't know.
The ground
Bonus
is weird
round
or
two?
something. I don't know.
Probably too rocky or something.
Yeah, it's hard to dig a hole to plant anything, much less. Anyways, okay. Is there anything you're nervous about or heavy on your mind today that you want to share?
Just the liposuction.
Just the liposuction.
Yeah, other than that.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
excited.
because of the liposuction, a lot of people are sore over in the armpit area, and that's common, and it'll bruise right there. You'll get quite a bit of bruising here in the sternum area too. Yours is gonna be hard to see because your tattoos, but that's kind of nice too. All right, so I'm just gonna touch you here.
Well, Micah should have did it that one day.
Oh, that was so funny.
That was so awkward.
Yeah,
that
all
guy
of that.
That guy, what did he say to you? He says, yeah, I think he kind of liked it.
I don't even remember that. I remember Dr. Creedy making you do it.
Yeah, I was
Didn't
like-
I video it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It was-
draw the marker on.
Yeah, it was really.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
was just failing left and right.
Not a doctor. Great
not a
videographer.
doctor.
Not a doctor. Okay, so will you do me a favor? Flex your chest muscles. So all this right here is what we're going to take. And you see how big his pec is. And so this is going to make this look more sculpted and defined. It's going to be awesome for you. You can relax. So the great thing about this surgery is, hour and a half, you're going to be awake on the other side of this, and you get to reap all the benefits.
Yeah, it's gonna be killer results.
It is.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we love when people come in shape already.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It's like, it's awesome because this is the cherry on top. I've said that a lot, but that's the only way I can describe it, because all we gotta do is take care of that, and you're already doing good. Cool. All right, well, let's get you back there. Okay, here we go.
All right, so once again, I love this guy. So he's seen our videos. We make videos. You think I trained with Tom Cruise, right? But believe me,
He does all his own stuff.
Yeah, you think I trained with like the best actors in the world, but unfortunately I didn't. These were tough in the beginning because it's just like I didn't want to, you know what I mean? Like how you are right now, man. He's like, well, I'm going to be on this video. This is really cool. So anyway, girls say great things about him, and he wanted to do a video.
Yeah, for sure.
Why?
I really enjoyed watching them, so why not keep giving back to it, I guess, is the main purpose.
Giving back. Giving back. That's the word. Right.
That's looking.
Yeah. Who needs information.
For sure.
So the two things that I picked up on him is he doesn't have a lot of body fat. He's in great shape. And he probably has some glands. So let's take a look. We come down there. Sure enough, he does, right? So look. Great shape. Good pecs. So how do I know he has gyno? You can see all this round stuff down here at the bottom, okay? And I can feel all this stuff too. So what I'm going to do carefully is mark the areas. And see, this thing is actually, it hurts, right?
That one I felt a little tenderness, and right now they're not. Sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not.
So it's like sometimes you feel like a nut and sometimes you don't, meaning it's like, did you take stuff to get this?
I had some of it, I think, started at puberty and then testosterone.
Yeah, you took stuff on top.
Yeah.
Right.
But I did have some of this originally, probably 14, 15.
Yeah. Do you notice it more in a shirt or without a shirt? How about you? Don't flip. Oh, God forbid. Do you notice it more with or without a shirt?
I would say without his shirt. It's not as noticeable.
So what do you say? With a shirt, right?
With and without depends on the shirt, too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, if you're wearing a pattern, and did you have the tattoo before or after you got the gyno? Well, I guess you got the tattoo after because you had it. But I mean, did you use this as a way to disguise this?
Some not, I guess.
I mean,
I enjoy art, obviously, too.
Well, I mean, it's not like you're shortage of tattoos, but I mean, did you want to put one on the chest to help potentially make this?
Some of it, yeah.
And it makes it look less noticeable, Mike, don't you think? I mean, don't you think? I mean, yeah, it's a good way to camouflage things up, which is actually always a possibility if someone develops a scar or some kind of weird stuff. You can always use a tattoo to help cover it up. So if we look at him and I look at my zone system, I'm thinking, well, what do we got here? Really mostly up front, mostly zone 1. But I know for myself that the way we're going to sculpt this, I'm going to probably thread out a little bit to zone 2. Because what happens is this is going to lower down and then I have to sort of make it all blend in. So there is an art. We're always funny how every time we film these things, we always get the people doing the lawn. So that out there is, I'm not using my ATV, and that's really just a blower. There you go. Hello. Over here. And so, we're going to basically stay up front, but if I have to do anything, maybe a pass or two out lateral, I will. He's got nothing up in 3, as you can see. This is all empty. In 4, he's nothing but just nothing. So he's in good shape. He doesn't have a lot of stuff.
You can liposuction down a lot. Last night.
Keep going, yeah.
Man.
What'd you eat?
We ate at some what was that trailer called? The donut.
What kind of food?
It was just donut desserts. They were like.
Oh, you're thinking of probably not Gordo's or something?
Yeah, Gordo's.
Yeah.
Was it Gordo's? I thought Gordo's closed, huh?
No, I don't know.
Well, the one on South Lamar closed,
Got
but
there's other ones.
the rest are going. So 2 things I wanted to talk about with you for an educational. Hey guys, can you hold on for a minute? He said he's worried about liposuction. Why are you worried about liposuction?
It just creeps me out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a creepy thing. Have you watched it? Yeah, which is always weird for me because it's like sometimes I have patients like, well, do I have to have liposuction? I'm like, that's like the easiest thing of the procedure, and it's like I think it's me like doing this, and you're like, whoa, what is he stabbing me and stuff? I mean, it looks weird, but trust me, it's really a lightweight procedure, and if you need it, you definitely got to get it. And It's part of the whole sculpting process. It's a big thing. So don't worry about liposuction. I think it looks weird, but it really is not that weird. And the other thing we wanted to talk about, what was the other thing we wanted to talk about, Mike? I forgot.
BMI?
His BMI, yeah, that's right. So, I mean, he's in great shape. He doesn't have a lot of fat, so we're not going to be doing a lot of lipo anyway, because I actually want to have fat to work with me so I could, once I remove the stuff, I have something to kind of get that layered out so that his nipples are all smooth and flat and all that kind of stuff. That's what I published in my paper, so we can remove it all, but you got to pay the piper, so that we don't have to pay the piper because I got my technique of suturing up the normal anatomy on the inside. But the whole idea of a BMI, I mean, he's not outside his BMI, he's perfect. But it's always best to be closer to your BMI. I mean, I probably answer, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 emails a week about people that are, you know, you're just too heavy. Or you're heavy and I prefer you lose some weight before you get it down. That's not his case. But just remember, folks, you're going to get a better result. It's going to be performed more safely if your BMI is where it needs to be. So body mass index, look it up. It's not perfect. If you're going to argue about how perfect or imperfect it is, you're missing the point. Okay, it's just an approximation. And what I do for all of you, I just look. I look on the consult form, and I can kind of tell what's going on. What else, man? This is your time. What do you want to do? Come on,
He wants to get in there.
You get him in there, and all of a sudden he's like, you know, get in front of the camera. I mean, look into it. It's just weird. It's
Well, she brought up too after Lacey left. I guess I have some back pains and stuff too, and I think it's part of posture. It's always hiding.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
shins even, you know,
Yeah, well, you do kind of pull it forward a little bit. You know he works out, so work your traps more and all that kind of stuff. Body mechanics is important. It's the first thing you can do to not only get a better result, if your skin is marginal, which is most of us, but it's also a great way to start the segue into, you know, making it. So he's a good guy, and he's. So when do you see it most holding him back?
Anytime that we're doing any activity where his shirt's off, so swimming with our kids, going to like parks and stuff like that, he's really insecure in those moments.
Okay.
Shirts that are workout shirts that are more of that polyester material.
Yeah.
Those he gets really uncomfortable.
Right. Okay, well, that's an important point. I'm glad you raised that up, and it's like it makes me almost teary-eyed to some degree. I've told this story over and over again. You probably all heard it. First time I got into the whole concept of understanding the mental consequences was a patient that was sitting here, and he was talking about his young kids in the pool with some other kids with the pool with the dads from elementary school, whatever, right? And the kids are like trying to like, Dad, come in the pool like with the rest of the dads, and he wouldn't take his shirt off. And as I said, the story, I have two girls, and they're pretty young at this time. It was like 20 years ago. And he started crying, and then I started crying. It was just this really weird thing. And it's not weird. It's just an emotional thing where you don't know how. I don't want them to have their relationship with their children negatively impacted because of his chest. Okay? Now, it's not life and death. We get that. But now what gets serious about this is if he can be himself, and Dad can be himself, and Dad and Mom be themselves as a family, that's a big deal because we need all the help we can get, I swear. So anyway.
Well, that's what I was going to tell you. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I would like to because you brought that aspect of the mental health piece into it with like gyno.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
it's
Guys,
yeah.
says you got a psychotherapist in here. I can.
Yeah. No kidding, man. I mean, it's it is the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. What I try to teach is kind of funny. It's like I'm so grateful to have you guys come from all over the place, and I truly am grateful and honored. But if it weren't for all the people that came here, I wouldn't know what I know, right? And so it's really a cool situation where I'm actually helping people in a big way. And what I tell you is I got this, and this should be a great moment. This should be a happy moment. This should be a exciting moment. That's why I always say, man, get excited, because, we got this. I'm not worried about anything. It's going to be fine, and it's going to change his life. And what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? Really, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with that. So. And when family comes here, and then it's like they're making a road trip. The guy goes swimming in the freaking Barton Creek, the creek pool. I mean, that's so the Barton Springs, and he knows Austin. People come here, check out your barbecue. You can check out the state capitol, check out the vibe. It's just a cool vibe, and we got leaf blowers. Let's get going.
Let's do it.
I love his accent.
I know.
Right? Yeah. good.
So it's Minnesota, huh? Fargo?
Minnesota.
Not Fargo.
Duluth.
Duluth. And so what Duluth. So what I like is that when he came here, he planned on doing a lot of activities.
Yeah, they really made a real good vacation out of it.
Yeah, they already went downtown.
You knew about the high school?
They went to
Yeah.
White Springs.
He said they
What
went to
high
Barnes- The Westlake High School.
Oh, about
Yeah.
the football factory?
Yep, and he said that the stadium is very impressive, and I mean, he definitely.
That's cool. No, they did their homework and they made a road trip out of it for sure.
And they wanted some barbecue, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
leaving tomorrow morning, so I told him.
Mex eats Tex-Mex.
Yes, I was like, I also told him that he should go
Matt's
to
El Rancho.
Salt Lake.
Salt Lake. Oh, well,
Because
out
he's leaving tomorrow morning.
in the country, yeah.
So I told him that he should get it at the airport, and that the airport only has.
That's right, they do.
Yeah, the airport only has.
Well, it's funny. Our airport does have only cool stuff from our area, local stuff. So it doesn't have Mickey D's or. Although you think it would have Whataburger, right?
Yeah, it doesn't even have that.
That's local. Corpus Christi, isn't it?
Okay, you're on
Yes.
the switch.
Oh, Whataburger's from Corpus?
I think it is.
Yeah, the first one is in Corpus.
I've seen it.
Okay.
And then if you want to go for a cool thing, you can take a drive through the hill country and go to Llano for Cooper's barbecue, or you guess you can go towards Fredericksburg and do the whole wine country thing.
Didn't they bring the Coopers here?
Yeah, they did, downtown. But I mean, if they want to see what the hill country
Yeah.
looks like, it's a nice drive out on 71.
Yeah, no, I like that drive. I like it.
And then you can catch the wildflowers, and the great wildflowers going out to,
Oh, right now it's great.
oh my God, Smithville. Woohoo!
Oh, yeah, that way.
Oh yeah, tons of them.
What took you out to Smithville?
Sports place.
Was it?
Yeah, but you went to the crawfish thing, right?
Oh yeah, I went to a crawfish party.
In
Probably
Smithville?
boiled.
Or-
Well, it's Bastrop County.
County.
Smithville's the closest city, but it's Bastrop County. Is really the best way to look at it because it's like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. But I like Lockhart too.
Oh, Lockhart's
Lockhart's
cool.
great.
Yeah, remember Rob? We used to have our friend out there. He was a OR tech,
Oh, Robert.
and he had the greatest house decoration for Christmas. Remember that? Did you ever go to that?
I never went.
Oh, do you
but
ever go to
I
that?
remember Robert.
No.
Oh,
I
something.
remember
Y'all
him.
told us about it.
Oh no, it was epic. It was mind-boggling. I mean, his husband, decorated, the windows on Fifth Avenue, and
Oh,
for
wow.
the Christmas stuff in New York City. I mean, big time. And this house was just totally decked out. It was a cute house too. So anyway, he's not going to have a lot of fat, so we're not going to go crazy. I'm using Vaser right now, which is ultrasonic liposuction. And it's really not meant to remove the fat as much as it is to just encircle this mass and separate the blood flow from it, so I don't have to have electrosurgery device or do this with a more traditional way of removing a tumor, because that's what it is. Tumor just means a mass. A tumor. Tumor just means a mass. It doesn't mean anything else.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. No. So I'm just kind of getting around it. Some of the docs comment on how fast I use this, but it's really not, because the energy of this probe is doing all the work, but it really doesn't. It's like a hot knife, and you can travel at any speed you want that works. Works the same. A tumor.
Now, did he say that he got these tattoos to cover it up?
Well, a little bit. I mean, he's had this since puberty, and then when he started taking some hormones, it got worse. It's got tender. Tenderness implies just inflammation, which just means it's active, okay, and it'll go away on itself. Won't be tender forever. Isn't that
That sounds like a song.
Love me tender?
You will be tender forever.
You'll be tender forever. That's that guy from Nashville. Come on.
Nashville. Johnny Cash?
No. Who's Love Me Tender, James?
Love me.
Elvis. Love me tender.
The King? We forgot.
The
Yeah,
King.
like
Yeah, the King.
Nashville.
Well, he wasn't
The
he?
King.
He was Memphis.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Born in Tupelo.
Tupelo.
Oh my gosh, I have to tell you a story. So this morning, Michelle comes in and she is so excited. She has this little bag, brings it to my desk. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I have onion sets for you." And I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Onion sets?" And I'm thinking, well, Mom must not know what an onion set is. She opens it up and she's brought these like onions for me to plant.
Yeah.
And I just look at her and I was like,
Well, what'd you?
I hate onions.
Oh,
And
she
she's
does.
like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I totally forgot.
Yeah.
And she was like laughing so hard she was crying.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Lacey, all weekend I've been so excited to bring you these freaking onions, and you hate onions."
That
like
is funny.
everybody that knows me.
Well,
knows
you
I
need
hate onions.
you need to learn to like onions,
No,
man.
they're terrible, and they linger on your breath for so long.
Yeah,
Like
but
garlic.
you're supposed to live forever. If you eat
Bad.
onions.
Onions are bad.
Onions are good for your longevity of life.
Yeah. You eat onions, you live forever. Isn't that right, James?
No, Will
No?
also doesn't eat onions.
Well, you're right. You know, I could tell you this. I got a quick story I could tell you. I had
Lacey, it's 4:03.
at one juncture in my life, I had 5 Chinese cresteds, and I grilled a bunch of onions and had extra ones, and so I'm trying to be all organic, and I'm trying to spill the onions out, put them out in the yard,
That.
and all of a sudden I can see the dogs, you know, kind of in that area, and I'm like, certainly dogs are not going to eat onions. I mean,
Right?
well, they ate them, and they got sick.
Yeah, because their onions are
There's
poisonous
a
to
toxic substance in an onion to a dog, not to
know.
humans, I don't think,
Yeah.
or at least not at the concentration. But anyway, I had to bring the doggy in, and we came to the conclusion it was the onion. But they did all right. But just
Yeah.
another thing with
Another drop in the bucket at the vet office.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
another payment to the vet. Should have been a vet actually. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, see, no thanks to the onions.
So for all these folks that are watching this from Minnesota, that accent we love. We love Fargo, Minnesota. And the joke about Minnesota is that, you know, the guys are always telling me stories in their notes about, you know, well, it's okay when it's cold. I'm like, well, you can move,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
move to
Minnesota.
move to Minnesota. But here we got a patient from Minnesota, so I guess it doesn't work year round. I mean, remember him. His biggest thing is he wanted to be around his family at the pool. So I mean, they probably go to the pool maybe a month a year there. 2 months, which is fine.
Yeah, I don't know if I would handle the cold that well.
It's pretty though, man. Let me tell you, it's like anything else. You get some pretty amazing change of scenery. Seasons too, you know, springs,
I can
summer,
only do it for
fall.
a small portion.
Yeah,
And then I can be like, okay.
but it's true. 4 seasons. Just see, in Texas here, we get 2 seasons: summer and winter. Although this year we had a fall. Kind of cool. Yeah, we had a spring. What am I saying? Yeah, you're right. The biggest one we've had in a long time. So the 2 things we talked about was that liposuction is maybe looks bad, but it's really not that bad, right?
It looks aggressive, you know.
Hey,
Yeah.
I would still sign up for it.
Well, a lot of people do. I mean, you know, a lot of times, which is a reminder. Like, so, you know, we also do liposuction for the guys. It's obviously we do basically abdomen and flanks. because everyone's. I don't know if they know what we do here.
Oh, yeah.
So my past life, well, my current life, I'm a plastic surgeon. In my past life, I was a plastic surgeon, and before we got into gyno, we did everything, right, Mar?
Yes, we
You
did.
can still do everything.
Well, yeah,
We still
yeah,
can.
I
It's
can
just-
still do everything actually, but it's just why are we limiting it?
Because we're overrun with
Yeah,
patients that like gynecomastia.
yeah, that's overrun. Oh God. Well, yeah, I mean,
Fully booked.
we're not gonna get into the whole details. There's a lot of reasons why, but you know, we still do we do a lot of noses. We do liposuction, obviously, but we're just super
work,
selective.
hello.
Breast work, yeah,
Lots of
female
breast.
breast, yeah. We do what we want to do, which is pretty cool, and which is just so. We don't just do gyno, folks, but and we'll let you know if you're interested in other stuff, whether we're up for it. We just like it to be done well, and we can pick the right candidates. So we want happy campers. We want everything to be safe. See, when I'm hitting them here, it's pulling. You see that? See that? Boom.
You're running into the.
And I'm underneath
tissue.
it right now, and it's pretty stuck. And by the way, it is hard to get into the muscle. I mean, I guess if you're crazy, you can get into the muscle, but it's not that easy to get into the muscle. Because sometimes people are like, "Are you getting into the muscle?" No, and it doesn't do anything to the muscle. You're outside the muscle. You're outside the fascia. At times, you can get into the muscle. Usually, that's on a secondary or tertiary case. In other words, a case that's been done before, and there's a lot of scar tissue. And if you're not careful, and it's not you can just back out, but you just got to be a little bit more careful. Secondary cases are cases that have already been done. They have scar tissue, and it can make it interesting. And we have videos on those.
You're past your time.
Am I on this
Yep.
side?
Yep.
Well, it's a little bit more
Sticky.
Stuff.
sticky. Yeah, it's more stuck. This was the side I think he actually hurt him a little bit. So again, I'm using my time as a reference, but each side is different, and this side is definitely stuck more. So I'm actually going by feel here. I could feel where it's stuck to the underlying fascia. See it right there? Look at that, boom. I'm at the way bottom, and it's pulling the nipple down. So we're going to get a good specimen out of here. Like the guy we just did this morning, he's a huge case, huge. I mean, we had, how much fat did we get? How much was it?
It was,
Over 2,000, right?
yes, it
Yeah.
was over 2,000.
So we got over 2,000 cc's of fat from this
I
guy.
didn't even say how much.
And then you could tell this morning, he's like, oh man, you didn't have much gyno. I'm
Tissue.
like, no, dude, you had plenty of gyno. It just was made out of fibrofatty tissue and not big old glandular tissue. So the fibrofatty tissue, I can get out into the suction machines, whereas whatever's left is what you take out through the small incision here.
Is it concrete?
Huh? This guy?
On his arm. Is that what it says? Concrete?
No, I don't know.
Does it feel?
Did you have that?
Yeah. Conacrete. CONACRET. Yeah.
Concrete?
Oh, and there's Natalie, our in-house
Conacrete.
social media
I don't
expert.
really know what that is, though.
Natalie, wave the camera.
Kindly wave to the camera.
What is it like? Behind that?
Okay, so I'm pretty
Are you
free
going to do
here.
the suction or are you going to
No, I'm going my hand.
All right.
You want me to open up the arm?
No.
Okay.
Oh, look at her.
I just wanted to see what it was.
She misses. See, James, she misses the whole thing.
I do.
Uh-huh.
I probably know every wall, every crevice of this place, right?
Yeah, little space you spent a lot of time in, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
We did.
We sure did. You know, did Lacey tell you that she pulled up there was a book or something?
You had a
And,
notepad.
You wrote about the
And it
yes.
was from like the early 2000s.
The
when
first
y'all started.
case and like
And
couple
you
cases.
wrote all the lipo down, like you
Oh,
say
yes.
the cases,
huge
the
lipo
lipo,
cases.
Yes.
And you would highlight the big ones.
Yes. And how much?
And there was like
and how much
11,000.
fluid? I know.
on-
How much fluid I gave? How much EDL I gave?
Yeah.
That is so
We
crazy.
thought about doing this, you know.
Study.
You know, then.
Well, they weren't doing them. We did the first.
Nobody was. ever-
Nobody, yeah. We were cranking
And
on
if
that.
they
Man.
did, their patients were not.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
They
right.
always ended up not in a good place.
Yeah.
Well, remember they put the 5,000 cc
Yep. Limit.
limit.
Yep.
Hey, Lace. Can I
Yeah.
have this laser off to you?
Yes.
Overland, not me. Other blood. I needed other bloods. And not the.
Sometimes I can get underneath the specimen just with my finger, but not in him because he's stuck. So I got to pull up on this a little bit and kind of make an opening, if you will. And I'm doing this blindly, but I think I had a little opening there.
Thank you.
And then that'll allow me to get above the muscle and blow the mass. Okay, boom. All right, we're there. Once you find that plane, where is the plane? I work this with my finger because it's good. It's a good tool. Oh, and he's stuck, as we knew he would be. Oh, man. Natalie just wants to get the money shot, as they say.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Money shot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he said that this pulling it out didn't make him queasy. But
That's weird, you know?
Because this is pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, this is
What
pretty
the
intense.
liposuction did?
Yeah, liposuction bothers me.
Oh.
Well, I hear that all the
Interesting.
time.
He's watched all the videos and he's like every time there's just the.
I think it's the idea of getting poked by.
Yeah, it looks like a knife, but it's
Yeah.
kind of not.
Yeah.
Oh. Enough. We're here.
All the time, Dr. B. We're here. Say bye.
All right, Mark.
Bye, Dr. B.
Bye.
Oh, but it's still stuck. You
Still
can still
stuck
see
down
it.
there.
Yeah.
Right here. Still stuck.
Nice. Can I have some more laps, please?
Oh, we didn't clean it off the top, did we? Under the areola. Oh. Man.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Bad.
So if you want your areola to be flat, you got to get rid of this white stuff under there. It sat right there. That's what makes it puffy. Okay. You don't get rid of that, you're wasting time. So that's why when you go to your surgeon, just make sure that they're removing all the tissue, particularly underneath the areola. It's the most critical. That's what gives you the puffy nipples. All right, I think we're freed up. We'll try this. And we haven't done liposuction here either, by the way, so it's a little bit more slippery or waterier. It's more waterier.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sled.
That is up.
The specimen.
That's the real deal. That's what he had. And then I'm gonna get the other side.
Yeah, that's what.
You could turn that vaser off. Oh, I guess you can't, right?
Well,
Yeah, it turns the lipo off too then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Small incision at the areolar border.
That's fine.
And now what I can tell you, which is really kind of strange, but this is a trained finger here. We've done a few thousand of these, obviously. So when you see us do it, see me do it, I got my rhythm, my mojo. I got underneath this one without having to poke a.
That I mean the polka?
Yeah, I didn't have to do the polka. I didn't have to do the pokey Joe there. To grab my scissor, and this one I got it with my finger. Boy, was this the bigger one or?
That was the one that was more tender. More
Was it
stuck.
more tender? Yeah,
It seemed bigger. That one.
definitely feels stuck.
Yeah. This is one that was more stuck.
Oh boy. And then just for fun's sake, we had 3 Roberts last week. How weird is that?
Bless you.
Good son.
Thank you.
3 patients that were named Robert. Never had that.
Do they all go by Robert?
Well, we didn't get into that whole thing, but just thought it was kind of cool.
Rapidly.
Sometimes we have people that come from the same state, sometimes locally here.
Yes.
You can cool it off. I would be not at all
This is a skill I have.
perturbed if somebody
There we go.
gave us
On
some.
the cooler side.
No.
You hold that cooler if you did.
Be a whole lot cooler if you did. Yeah, I do. We had to hear her.
No.
It's short. If you.
Oh, you can see all
Bland.
the white. That's gland.
As you're trying to cut into it, it's
Yeah.
coming out.
Is
You
it?
can
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
it.
See, look at all that tough stuff.
Yeah.
Whew. I mean, look at that.
Well,
Voila. All right, so we got these masses out. We got a little bit of a hollowness going on here because this is all filled up with fluid. So now I'm going to do some sculpture.
Please,
Clean this
clean
up here a little
Please,
more so this
please.
looks pretty.
You're right. I just don't want to get it on you.
You got to watch these little fat boogers here because they can get all over the place. I had a patient that here we can show you a volcano here. Eh? What, ready? Woohoo! These are
Dr. Pimple Popper.
Dr. Yeah, this is our Dr. Pimple Popper. So now we're doing liposuction to just do the ultimate in refinement. So we think of it this way. We took a shovel and we dug a little bit of a hole by removing that central mass. So I want everything to sort of be level and even. So I'm working around the the perimeter here to just reduce it a little bit, make it less hole-like, and then I'm going to put some stitches down, which basically is I'm going to move that tissue around so that it is even more even, because I want it to look smooth and flat. That's the goal. Masculine. Sneaking out here a little bit in zone 2. You know, people who are overweight, they're more likely to have treatment in zone 2 and 3, 4, even down here. But sometimes it's just genetics, and you get people that their weight's good and they have fullness in those areas anyway. That's why I had the zone system to begin with, because this is how you treat the whole chest appropriately, is by zone. It tells you where you have the problem to begin with and where you're going to direct treatment.
Wait.
This smaller cannula sometimes gets stuck.
Yeah. It's got that strong tissue.
Yep. Well, fibrous, you got some fibrous tissue in there as well. So I'm sneaking down here in zone 4, just again to have a nice smooth transition between the chest and the abdomen. And this is what I was trying to intimate when I was marking him, of where I end up going in terms of treatment. Just depends on what I end up creating, you know. So his upper pec is over here. Got a little bit of fullness in this area. Up in here. His tissues are also pretty swollen.
Just from the work we've already done.
Oh yeah, the work I've
and
done.
also the fluid that was
a lot of
placed
fluid in here.
That fluid.
That's why this takes patience and practice, because this thing clogs all the time.
It does.
Yeah, we just got these new cannulas, and this one here is on the smaller side. And probably wouldn't get that one again. 4 and that's 4.5?
4.
Yeah, 4. Oh, that's it.
It's like a whole new system, yeah? Like even the handle is?
Yeah, well, they're a little different, but they're straws, essentially. We're talking about these instruments on liposuction cannulas. They're straws. It's like Slurpees.
Makes you look different.
Okay, that looks good. He's a little high. He's a little high right here. And you know, just even him having this tattoo kind of changes the appearance of his chest. That's why you can always use tattoos to some degrees to camouflage things. All right, so I'm gonna grab a stitch right away. Maybe we can show you while we got you here on this side. Let me get rid of this more. Boom. All right, so show me a stitch. So I could see down here this nice tissue. And the fascia. I could see a fascia layer right here. Look at that. See that? That's fascia right there. Let me grab a bite of this and then come up out. Grab the same fascia layer on the upside, and as I pull together, watch how it fills in this gap. See that? Boom. Tugs a little bit there, because that's where it's connected. So this stitch here, which will become universal, like, oh, of course you put the stitch in there. Well, this was described by your good doctor. But I get credit for that. No big deal, but you know, describe the anatomy of the chest, the layers of the chest, and how we can use that to optimize the treatment of gynecomastia. Remove it all and have a nice flat nipple areolar complex. Look at that, it's beautiful. And a nice even flat contour.
That's what we want. Look at that, it almost looks like a lymph node. Give me a stitch. I mean, not stitch,
Scissors.
scissor. Give me what I want.
Yeah, look, Micah knows exactly what
Yeah,
you
Micah.
need.
Micah's been here longer than me.
Well, I could tell he wanted to get rid of
Okay,
that.
boom.
I
Yeah.
know, that's what I
Want to get
do
rid of
too.
that.
I want to get rid of that.
Diddle-it-dit-dit-dit-dit. So we can show you a little volcanic activity. Rotate the bed toward you. Want to come over here, Micah?
You get rid of these and see if
We can show you a little volcanic activity, which is just, yeah, stay as it is, James, which is just means some of the free floating fat out here can just kind of be pushed out. There's a lot of fluid here, obviously, because we put in a lot of fluid. And then sometimes I suction the fluid and do some liposuction before I remove the mass, but this time we're doing it reverse, doing some mass removal first and then liposuction. Why do I do it one way and not the other one? I'm trying to think.
Sometimes not to take a lot of the fat, like
Yeah, sometimes we want to leave as much fat as possible.
as much as we can.
So we gotta just get rid of these. And,
He does not like in the fours.
yeah,
He's not liking the fours.
they don't work. I mean, they get
They
clogged.
clog really easily.
Ah,
Somewhere. They do clog.
It's just needing the size of the.
Yeah, it's
width
the
of
millimeter width of the diameter of the opening.
Yeah.
They're too small. Like
Of the
these
cannula.
fat globules can get caught in there and just. Oh well, you're looking at it. It just clogs the straw. It's like a Slurpee with a
A nice cube at the end.
ice cube or
Strawberry.
Strawberry, yeah. It could be a strawberry down there, and it's like, oh man, same thing. That's when it's not clogged. So feathering off here in zone 2 a little bit, as I told you I would. I remember I put those X's. Coming down here to zone 4, a little bit down here. Better symmetry, nice transition between the chest and the abdomen. Want it to look nice, obviously. Up here along the lateral border of the muscle. That looks good. That looks nice. Clogation. All right, good. All right, I like that.
Clogation.
Little clogation. Stitch roll.
Is that a medical term?
Yeah, so you get close here. I'll show you maybe better view of this flap here. So up here you can see this fatty up here. No, I'm not sure that helps. Here it is, right? So that's the upside. And between here is a little bit of fat, but that's muscle. Then we have this fascia on the low side. See that? And that's just going to come together to provide this nice buffer of fat between the overlying dermis and the underlying muscle, so it doesn't get any tethering, doesn't get stuck, and so no depression because it's filled in the hole, so to speak. You can see the fascia there. A nice deeper bite here. Just enough. Sometimes you may see a little pull right there because that's where it's coming from. Let's see. Good? We don't? Nothing wrong with that. But this is nice and flat and smooth. Puffy nipples be going.
You remember when we used to say "poof, be gone"?
Poofy be gone, baby.
Be
What was
gone.
that?
yeah.
What was that from? Was that from Clueless or something? Seems about the right time.
Looks good there. So I'm good. So Mara's going to put in some skin stitches here. and we're done. So if I can help you out, look, so this is the area that's all undermined here. If you got poor skin or you have a huge areola, you want this to lay flat. So remember, you can just pick this skin and just move it. You can't do that up here because if you see my finger is not underneath, so the skin hasn't been separated. But always in this area here, you could move that. So if you have a little, let's say you had like this little crease, I'm trying to make one, like you know, like right there, you had a little crease. Open it up, you know, and then use that lipofoam to hold it down. And then what's going to happen is, if you can see here, is that this underside here, which is good actually, there's a nice dermis here, will stick down nice and flat and doesn't get stuck to the muscle and all that stuff, and you don't have any tethering and all that kind of stuff. And if you notice, there's no scar tissue in here, obviously, we just did this. If you start feeling like, you know, a mass in here, like I just injected some steroids in a patient this morning already, it's because you didn't get at it fast enough. And it's okay, you know, you got to get at it and you got to work that any way you can. Voila.
He's gonna love it.
Yeah, it'll be a big change.